Hello, my name is Andre Louis, as you might know, and today I'm going to talk to you a bit about logic and cleaning up projects. It's very important to keep projects clean and tidy because by doing so, it means that it's easier to distribute them later. Or, just for personal use, you can keep your whole logic projects folder clean and tidy of mess because it likes to leave things behind and it's not a good thing. So the piece that you just heard was made purely for this demonstration. Now let's see how big this file is. I've saved it. The name of the project is tutorial and it should be only a few kilobytes or a few hundred at least.
Turn tutorial Logic X project. Today, 09/24. 676 kilobytes. Logic X project.
676 kilobytes, so it's quite small really. We're going to increase that size now by recording badly the numbers 1 to 8. And I'm going to do that a few times and you'll see why in a minute.
Logic Pro X.
So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the beginning of the track
1 bar 1
and say 1 to 8 after hitting record. And I will not do it right. And there is a purpose to this. 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 9. Oh dear, come on. So I don't know how to count. Now, that's a bad take, isn't it? I don't want to keep that take. I want to undo it with Command Z.
86, 1 bar.
And I want to do this again. Oh, I wasn't ready. Is it recording? Oh no, that's a terribly bad take.
2 bars, 3 beats, 647.
Can't do this, guys. This is not
1
happening.
bar 1.
Learning to count. This is something you're supposed to do very young. All I have to do is say 1 to 8. It's not happening. Okay, I've undone this take. I don't want to keep it, but we'll get to that. Maybe this time round I can actually count properly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my gosh, I did it. This take I do want to save. I'm going to save the project now. And let's have a look at the project size before we continue.
Finder, Logic.
Window.
List view.
Table.
Tutorial Logic X project. Today, 09/31. 4.8 megabytes. Logic X project.
That's gone up quite a bit from 600 and something kilobytes, hasn't it? 4 megs for a few seconds of audio? And it's mono audio, no less. That's quite a significant difference. Wow. Okay, well, why is it so big? Now, if you don't know much about audio, you might think, well, that's all right, it's not that big. But over time, the more that you do, especially if you're using audio and MIDI together, it's going to grow. These little projects that you do with bad takes and you undo them, they're going to grow, and they're going to grow horribly. And you'll run out of disk space faster than you could ever imagine. So let's make sure that we don't do that.
Logic Pro X.
The first thing I'm going to do is to tell you that you need the VioLogic key map installed in your Logic from the VioLogic Dropbox, because without that you won't be able to do option C, which we need later to clean up the project. But before that, we need to go into this media browser.
Table.
Row 6 of 6. Name, microphone, number row 7, column 2.
Image.
Info,
And we
BPM,
know that there are microphone takes here because you heard me make them. Let's go to the top of the table just by pressing up a few times.
Microphone number 0.
And let's play this first one. 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 9. Oh dear, come on. And I just press space on that take to play it. And you can do this and audition them to see if you want to keep any of them.
Microphone number 06.
What you'll see is that there are 2 entries in the table per item. I'm not 100% sure why, but that's the way it is. So the first one up here.
Microphone number 05.wav.
I go down 1.
Microphone number 05.
Image.
Without the WAV extension on it.
Microphone number 06.wav.
Image.
And again, I press space. Oh, I wasn't ready. Is it recording? Oh no, that's a terrible... Didn't keep that one, did we? And we'll go down twice more.
Microphone number 07.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that one is a keeper. Now what you can do, if you want to, is to delete them by hand, the ones that are not being referenced in this project. But the quicker way is to simply do Shift U.
2 rows selected.
And it says 2 rows selected. And that will delete, when I now press the backspace key, which I'm about to do.
Delete recorded audio file from disk. Can't undo this operation. File name. Microphone number 05.wav.
We get a dialog come up. Now let's explore this dialog.
Delete recorded audio file name. Microphone number 05.wav. Delete selected.
Radio button 1 of 2.
Keep.
Radio button 2 of 2.
For all checked.
Checkbox.
And there's a checkbox, which is for all. Now, you can check this box so that you don't have to do this time and time and time and time again, especially if you've got 10, 15, 20 of these come up. And I would recommend that if you're happy with this. Now, these are all simply recommendations, not must-dos, okay? I don't want to tell you how to run your life.
Cancel. Button.
That's far from the point of this.
OK. Default. Button.
Let's go to OK. Let's hit OK.
Press OK. Default. Button.
Right. So now there should only be one thing, well, 2 rows in this table.
Microphone number 07.wav. Image. 110.0.
Only one in here. I can play that.
Row 1
2,
expanded.
3, 4. That's brilliant. I don't need to see this table anymore. Let's press F to get rid of it.
Tracks.
We're back in the tracks window.
1 bar.
And if I play this to make sure it still works fine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
2 bars.
everything's fine.
1 bar 1.
Let me save this project once again. And let's check on its file size. I should think it should be smaller than what it was. What was it, 4 point something megabytes? What's
Finder.
it say?
Logic.
Window.
List view.
Table.
Tutorial Logic X project. Today, 09:35. 3 megabytes.
3
Logic X
megabytes.
project.
That's reasonable. It's still a little bigger than I'd like, but it's certainly gone down. Now for each of these values that you've been hearing, 3, 4 megabytes, add a couple zeros on, because when you think about all of your Logic projects and how big that some of them probably are, because you've maybe never done this cleanup operation before, when you start to do this, you will notice some drastic changes, and you might even notice some decreased load times when you load up big projects, because it's not looking for all of these extemporaneous files that no longer are necessary and no longer wanted. But that's not the end of it. No, that's not the end of it.
Logic Pro X.
I've command tabbed back to Logic, and again, now is where we need the Logic key map installed. So I do Option C, because I do have that key map installed.
Cleanup project options.
And there's a great big dialog in here, which is very worth looking at the very first time you do this. Make sure that all these checkboxes are set to your specifications, not mine, but yours. That's very important.
Cleanup.
So let's look through this dialog together.
Delete unused files. Checked.
Checkbox.
Delete unused files.
Delete backups. Checked.
Checkbox.
Delete backups.
Delete media browser files. Checked.
Checkbox.
Media browser files.
Cleanup deletes unused files for all alternatives of a project.
Deletes all unused files for alternatives of a project. So that means project saves that it does. Logic saves, I think, up to 10 projects, backups. So, and all of those can contain undo steps, and all of those can contain audio that you're not using anymore. So it's worth to do this. Very, very worth it.
Cancel. OK. Default.
And an OK button. Now, I know that all the boxes in here are checked because I do this quite often, so I don't need to look through this dialog. I'm doing it for the purposes of showing you guys what this is all about. Now, one thing I'd like to mention before we move on quickly is that if you know that they're set right, don't feel like you have to come to the end of the dialog and go VO space on the OK button, because that's just time wasted. You want to be productive. You want to be tidy and clean, and you want to get on with life. So the fastest way to do that,
Tutorial.
just press escape. And if you know that the boxes are set the way you want them to be, because Logic will remember this setting, is to do Option C, Enter. Let's go.
Cleanup tutorial.
It's done. It's done. As simple as that. Save again. Now
Tracks.
let's check that file size,
Tracks.
please.
Tutorial Logic X project. Today, 09:37. 2.5 megabytes. Logic X
2.5
project.
megs. I believe that's a little bit smaller than it was beforehand. And now, remember I said that you stick on a couple zeros on that. Think about your other projects. Think about if you've got any dirt and dust and grime and spiderwebs in those things that you don't want to keep. And go through all of your biggest projects that you can think of and run this cleanup tool. If you've got audio in there, remember to do the F first and look at that table, and you can play all of these simply by pressing space and using up and down cursor. Please make sure Quick Nav is off when you do this. Not on, but off. And then as soon as you highlight something that you want to play, you can press space on it and it will play. And it will not play the project, just the audio that you have selected. A bit like the way the Apple loops work in a way. And if you're satisfied that the things that are in the project are meant to be in the project and all the dirt is going to go away, Shift U, then backspace, then F to close that table lest you do something you really regret. Option C to bring up that dialog that we just looked at and all those checkboxes. Make sure that the ones that you want checked are checked. You can press Enter and it will clean them up. Sometimes you might get another table of options which are those deleted files. It doesn't happen all the time, and I can't quite say when it's going to do it. But what those will be the same files that are in the media browser with the F key that come up after the cleanup operation. I think it's sort of like a further "are you sure" step. And I think that happens if you have not been recording a project at the moment, but after. If you load up a project that you've worked on previously. So if I was to close this project and reload it, and it had dirty media files in it, and I was to do Option C, it might show me that dialog then. I know that's not 100% clear, and I do apologize for that, but I can't tell you exactly when this thing shows up or when it doesn't. It's a bit hit and miss, really. I've seen it, and I've not seen it a few different times. But anyway, I hope that's been of some use, and I hope you've got something out of that, and I hope you enjoy the space that you will gain back by cleaning up dirty Logic projects. Take care, and I'll speak to you again soon.